you don't realize that your productivity brings out the insecurities in a lot of people. So trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, like people that are unhappy with their lives, a lot of people are waiting to see you crumble. You know what I'm saying? They're waiting for you to fucking fall.
Roll me, Mac.
What were you known for wearing in high school? In high school, the color red for sure. Uh, Baggy jeans, size 2X, 3X shirts on a 90-pound frame. They're hats galore. Preferably red hats. Anything red. No gang affiliation by any means, but just love the color red. Being a Bulls fan, being a 49ers fan, I just love the color red. I'm trying to think what else is known for wearing like in high school. First down, had a first down bubble coat. Yeah. Ninth grade, I had the Blue Dodgers, the Blue Dodgers jacket that I think I wore on one of these episodes before. I've had that since the ninth grade, and let's see, there was this colorful ass like a Rubik's Cube shirt that I got, I think in 10th grade. It had a lot, yeah, it just had like a gang of fucking colors, just a very loud shirt to say the least. I'm known to wear in high school. Shoe wise, senior year was Converse. That's when I got my first pair of Converse, was senior year. Before that, I was what did I have? I know I had a pair of the Scottie Pippen up tempos, the Air up tempos with the joint that say Air on them. I think that might have been middle school though. What other shoes did I have? My pops got me these Vin Baker Jordans one time, like the Team Jordan ones, but it was like Vin Bakers. They had 42, I think, on the back of them. There's one time I had a pair of bows. I had a pair of white and gray Bo Jacksons. Yeah, I got a pair of those. At one of my friend's mom, actually K Park, yeah, K Park's mom got that, copped that joint for me. It was kind thing. And what else, man? Ninth grade. DCs, yeah, a pair of yeah. That's what I alternated back and forth through white DCs and black DCs. That was validation items for me, trying to fit in because that's what everybody I talked to, they had a pair of those, so I wanted to get a pair of like black and white or black DCs for the winter time, and white DCs for either starting the school year, and jerseys too. Jerseys for sure. The jerseys that I wore in school, I started the year off, ninth grade. I think I was Randy Moss. Yeah, a Randy Moss jersey. I also had a Michael Vick. Yeah, I got a Michael Vick jersey, the white one. I had a white Michael Vick jersey. I think I wore a black one too. Yeah, I had a black one 10th grade. 10th grade was, I don't think it was Vic. I think that was Jamal Anderson. Yeah, had a Jamal Anderson jersey. I definitely know I had the T-Mac. I had that senior year, I think. Senior year I had a T-Mac. I also had a Kobe jersey. What was weird because like it was the one that had 8, but the 8 was like really, really small in the middle. You almost could think it was like a knockoff. But yeah, I had a Kobe jersey. 11th grade. 11th grade, I had a Kobe jersey. I think I had yeah, I take that back. I had a Scottie Pippen black. I had a black Scottie Pippen Bulls jersey. At one point in time, 30. Yeah, number 33. What else did the shit did I wear? I had a leather. Yeah, definitely had a leather jacket. Yeah, I had a leather jacket just to, again, another validation item, but it looked good. And at one point in time, I tried to grow cornrows multiple times, but I'm very impatient. And I had a fro for a little bit, and the furthest I got, I believe, was 11th grade. 11th grade, I let my hair grow. It got long enough to where I could get cornrows, so it was cool to see that. But yeah, it just didn't last long. I think one time my dad made a statement about my hair. He's like, that shit look ugly as hell or something like that. And I cut my shit off after I cut my shit off after that. You know what I mean? It's like looking back, why the fuck would a parent say some shit like that to their kid? But you know, that's the honest, you know, I guess that's honesty for you. But it was I'm trying to think what else, man. Definitely headbands. Headbands was very big. Jadakiss and Nelly, a lot of them were doing headbands when we were like in 11th and 12th grade. So I wore a lot of like white headbands and shit like that. We would wear that to school. Believe it or not, we wore pajamas too. Like these are like Kellogg, like the you know the graphic pajama pants. We used to wear those with white tees to school. I think it's more of like a Suffolk thing, if anything. I feel like I said that before on a previous show, but I mean, yeah, you know, a gray hoodie. I definitely wore a gray hoodie a lot. The zip up, yeah, similar to this. I wore Gray's zip up hoodie, and I definitely remember that in 11th grade. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much that first down bubble. That was my yeah. That's what I rode. I rode that bitch out. You know, the first down bubble, like throughout. Yeah, just through ninth and however long it lasted. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, obviously got a little bit bigger, taller. But yeah, I believe those are some of the things that I wore. Like in yeah, those are some of the stuff that I wore in high school. And you look back at it and be like, you know, what the hell were we thinking? But those, like I said, it were good times, man. They were good times, and just a lot of big, yeah, bucket hats. Oh yeah, I can't forget that. Senior year I wore, but you know, that's why I had the bucket hat too. I think I saw either Pharrell or Eclipse, one of them, and I just wanted to emulate everything that I saw on music videos and you know what I'm saying, like TV for your favorite artists and all that stuff, trying to be validated, trying to figure out who the fuck you are and everything that your kid or has done or is doing right now. And I guess that's part of growing up, figuring out who the fuck you are. But those are some of the things that I wore when I was in high school.
Hey, what up, everybody? Yeah, do me a favor real quick. Just hit like, subscribe, and of course comment if you have anything, you know, obviously to mention about the show.
What's the worst job experience you've ever had? Worst job experience that I ever had, I would say probably my tenure in Georgia. So like 2020, I would say it's probably, at least in my in all of my career of work, from when I started working at McDonald's at the age of 16 at the McDonald's on Western Branch Boulevard and back home in Chesapeake, and to me joining the Air Force, and then me working contract and GS back and forth. I'd say the experience that I've had was probably the tenure in Georgia. It was the first time I've been in a situation where my coworkers were they didn't communicate well. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, it's not like it was I won't say it's a horrible experience, but it was definitely not, it's not ideal, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of out for self shit. Like, it was some cutthroat. It was cutthroat going on, and thankfully, God and the universe placed a few souls around me that kind of helped me get through it, and what it was meant to teach me. I mean, there I caught COVID, survived it obviously, where others didn't. Had some coworkers lose people to COVID, so it was a very challenging experience being there, especially by yourself, going through COVID. Yeah, I said mentally, man, it just took a toll. But management was not the most mature emotionally. It wasn't the most mature management being there, and you know, again, when your initial reaction is to make it about you. But when you sit back, detach yourself from it, you can see that this individual was going through something. They were projecting that onto others. You know what I'm saying? Misery loves company type thing, just very vindictive type management. And it was almost like impossible. And I'm just not gonna say impossible, but it's very challenging to get certain information to do your job, or information to even try to get things done for you in your personal life. You know what I mean? And schedule changes was at a moment's notice. Like, there was no real room to try to plan stuff. The upside was how much we got paid. I ain't going front on that shit. Like, that money was right. The money was good, but the sanity, I'll take peace over money. In this day and age. Just to a degree, it depends. I mean, don't get me wrong, we was getting paid a lot, but I was not digging coming to work, questioning whether or not I was going to be working by the end of the day. That type of feeling. And yeah, it just the environment would suck the air out of you. It was just a lot of energy that was very, I would say, very negative, very self-centered shit going on. And I'm coming from a workplace down at Homestead where we were essentially a work family. I don't expect everything to be Homestead purposely, but a lot of places I've gone to, yeah, we don't. You'd be fortunate to come across a group of people, those personalities that helped me grow as a man. You know what I'm saying? Even I would say as a father and a parent, seeing other parents do certain things, because I wasn't necessarily taught that, you know what I mean? Like, to see that, and then I see a lot of myself just trying to become a better person. A lot of those tools came from, the school of Homestead, as far as like working there. But my time in Georgia, at Warner Robins was, it was very much like I said, it was a challenge. I was sent there to plant seeds, I believe. I was sent there to have a seed planted in me. I was sent there to set me up for the next step in my working career, which has brought me to Jax. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I can forget that everything that I've been through was something that I once prayed for. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I once desired, regardless if things change. So it's like remembering to have that gratitude. You know what I mean? And like I said, I believe all of us can lose sight that this is what we asked for at one point in time. Grateful to go through the experience. Grateful to see myself grow and others grow from it. Grateful for the people that I had, man. I mean, like I said, my man Ro and my man Mark. I forget Shorty's name, man. She was a Southern Belle, and she had like this strong accent, a Bayou accent. But she was mad cool, and she knew her shit. She was the youngest there, I believe, at the time. But she knew her shit, man. And we kind of got through. And it was an older gentleman too that we used to learn from, just studying and watching him. He would love to watch Andy Griffith all the time in the news. Like it had no preference on anything else. But when 5 hit, watch the news. 5:30, watch Andy Griffith. I ain't say, hey, do what you do. You know what I mean? But there was, like I said, there's a few other coworkers. I won't who will go nameless that I made a bond with there. And there was some that I didn't necessarily care for. I'll say that, but I appreciate what that time in Georgia did for me from a mental health and a spiritual standpoint. That's one of the most challenging times in my life, and I can honestly say that I made a way out and went on to something that was more beneficial to what I was trying to do in my life. And the parts that made that the worst experience because the lack of communication, the out for self, the essentially like backstabbing stuff, management not taking accountability when called out on certain things like this. It was just and withholding information. It was a lot. It was a lot that that we endured there, and no ill will. I wish all of them that were there with me, if they're still there, I wish them nothing but positive and healing energy as they get through whatever they're going through. But yeah, we done with that. Peace.
So, what type of conversations do I like to have? The type of conversations I like to have definitely centered around music. Music conversations can go on forever, especially if we're talking about like the hip hop that I came up on, or if we're talking about R&B and funk. I mean, me and my boys from the military, we get into it a lot about which decade was the most potent in R&B. For me and my boy Mark, we believe that the 70s brought the most heat when it comes to music. So, we'll debate about that. Also, The Office. You can never go wrong with talking about The Office, being a big fan. That's one show that, for me, I never get tired of watching. You know what I mean? Michael is retarded as fuck as a boss, but the show's not the same once he leaves. Spoiler alert. You know what I'm saying? But it's that one, and saying, and of course Martin can yes indeed, Martin forever. Martin will forever be like my show. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I watched it so much growing up, and I studied it so much as an adult, just trying to be funny and being the funniest for the family or my friends, that I don't necessarily like I said, I may not laugh as much. But it's still to me, it's the funniest show I've ever seen, hands down. I mean, for me growing up, TV was Martin in Living Color, and unfortunately, Def Comedy Jam, because that was just the progressive household that I grew up in, that I was able to study just comedy in general. And of course, the other shows that were, around back then, Fresh Prince, Jamie Foxx, and all of that, Parenthood. But, but of course, healing conversations. Healing conversations, you can never go wrong with that either, because I like being able to feel different, feel better after having a conversation with someone. So like healing conversations, it just happens. I think it's just the magnetic pull of the universe that pulls me into such conversations, and mental health is just centered around everything that we tend to talk about anyway. So I would say healing, music, conversations, Martin, The Office, and of course sports stuff too, you know what I'm saying, depending on what it is. Maybe basketball, talking about wrestling, so pretty much sports, music, TV with Martin and The Office. But those are the conversations that I enjoy having.
Why didn't you accept yourself before the spiritual awakening? I didn't accept myself because I was indirectly taught to not love myself, taught to hate myself, if you will, taught to love my parents, no matter what, but to almost hate myself no matter what in the head. And I don't think that was the intent. I think that is just a trauma response, if you will. And I just didn't believe I was good enough for anything. So I did my best to go all out in hopes of receiving love at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Very conditional is what I would say I was doing. I was very much moving in a conditional sense. And it shaped my life the way that it did, the way I treated people, the way that I allowed people to treat me. I took those hits in hopes that there would be love on the opposite end of it. And be it from parents, be it from family, be it from, friends in the neighborhood growing up, just being bullied. I would take being talked about, joked on, and you know what I'm saying? Like all of that shit, believing that was the way to receive love. And in some ways with family, it can be, because that's just, depending on your family, like, like I said, we can be brutal. We can be brutal when we want to. And I believe that's how we cope with the pain, if you will. But I just didn't believe I was good enough, man. I just didn't. I didn't have that validation. I didn't feel like I had that validation from those around me. So I was going to become larger than life in some way, shape, or form. I was going to become the whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I saw on TV, I was just gonna fall into that. And here enters the narcissistic traits, you know what I'm saying? Like from a mental standpoint. And like not showing any empathy, not caring, like if something happened to someone, not giving a fuck because no one cared for me type thing. So I'm holding myself as part of the problem, instead of seeing it from another person's lenses outside of mine, for the simple fact that I felt neglected, you know what I'm saying, being seen. And I think a lot of us do that shit, especially like from a race standpoint, or any a race standpoint, a gender standpoint, from being a mom or being a kid, you know what I'm saying, like a parent to a child thing. Like we dismiss how another person feels I believe unintentionally. We dismiss how another person feels, and we don't see it from their point of view. And then there's chaos and confusion that comes behind it, because it's like, all right, so you don't see it my way, you don't give a fuck how I feel, I'm not gonna give a fuck how you feel. And then you still have the same system being perpetuated into existence by staying that way. But I believe in being the change that you want to see. And sometimes it's going to take not expecting, all the time really, it's gonna take not expecting anything in return. Unconditional love. But I just didn't believe that I was seen. I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought there was something wrong with being wrong. I didn't think people would accept the fact that, I liked a particular type of artist, and that was popular in this culture, but not popular in my own. And same thing, being around another culture and liking the stuff from my own culture. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to fit in. I was trying to be a chameleon, and trying to have friends everywhere, instead of learning who your enemies are by just being you. Some of us do that. You just like when you feel that alone, and you don't feel accepted by the tribe, if you will, your survival kicks in. All right, what do I gotta do to survive? I'm not gonna get the love that I want, so how do I get the love that is there? I'm going to do whatever it takes to survive. And that's what happens when you do shit and you feel like you're alone. You know what I mean? Because you don't realize that your productivity brings out the insecurities in a lot of people. So trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, like people that are unhappy with their lives, a lot of people are waiting to see you crumble. You know what I'm saying? They're waiting for you to fucking fall. So I think I indirectly felt it. So I was trying to keep people around me for fear of being alone. And then the universe and God in his universe put me in a position where I was. And that is where I found my strength. That is where the spiritual awakening took over. And I realized how powerful I am by myself, how powerful I am to think how I want to think, do what I want to do. And if I lose people, or as in they do something else, it has nothing to do with me. And it took some time to kind of grasp that concept. And, I won't say I got it down 100%, but I look at it from a stoic standpoint. When people leave, they're being returned, whether that's through death, whether that's through a breakup, whether that's just through whatever, your perceived abandonment. Like nothing belongs to you. Nothing. There's nothing in this world that belongs to you. It's like, since I own nothing, I should appreciate everything. And I can say that I do my damnness to do that on a day-to-day basis, is to look at love from an appreciation standpoint than that of possession. And you're human, so of course you have moments where the ego takes over and you get possessive on something, but then you have to detach and realize that something is not yours and you're not somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care who you are. You don't own me. I don't own you. You know what I mean? Like I can appreciate you. You can appreciate, you can choose to, but you know what I'm saying? Like I had to look at life from that standpoint. Like nothing, if somebody leaves, they did what was best for them at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing they did was about me. And it just took that spiritual awakening, reading the 4 Agreements at work in Georgia, coincidentally. I was one night I'd heard about this book, and then I just listened to it through YouTube. Somebody had the full thing up there at one point in time, and I was working a mid shift, and I was listening to him, and he was talking about how all the programming that we were given before you were born, you already had a religion, you already had a culture, and things that you didn't ask for. And I was like, yeah, a lot of the shit I don't necessarily care for. And I made a decision to choose my moods, choose who I was going to associate with, choose what I was going to listen to at my own doing, and believe what I want to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not project that onto others. I've mastered how to think for myself. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to project that onto anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever I believe is what I believe. Me trying to tell you about my belief, I believe, is an insecurity, because I don't trust what I believe. So I have to continuously get you to believe what I believe, because whatever I believe doesn't need to be proven. God doesn't have to prove himself to anybody. He's God. So that whole notion about God being insecure and not having any gods before me, what does he care? He's God. You know what I'm saying? But like there was just parts of me that I was not accepting. And for a long time, and I had a true imposter syndrome. I was being something I wasn't, and now I have the other side of the imposter syndrome of feeling like you're not worthy of what has what you've worked for. You know, like the attention sometimes that I'll receive from my peers, I wonder who the fuck are they? Who are they talking about? Who are they talking to? Like, who do you believe I am? You know, I'm only Romy in my mind. You know what I'm saying? But over time, I've built up a rapport on of just soaking in knowledge and being understanding of certain things. But some people, you know, they see opportunity, and it's hard to weed out who's there for you versus who's there for themselves, and that makes it it's troubling at times to kind of grasp that, because I'll see people act on their insecurities and project that onto me, and I don't want to go back in a position where I was in a controlling situation by someone who projected their insecurities onto me. So that's a challenge for me. But anyway, before the spiritual awakening, that's where my mind was. I was not in the best of positions mentally, and I didn't know why. I didn't have effective guidance. I didn't have effective leadership. So I had to get the nerve to do it myself. So therefore I did. Grateful for opportunities that come up, and that to put me into a higher say stratosphere in life, especially from a spiritual standpoint. Being grateful for wisdom, being grateful for knowledge, being grateful for life itself, being grateful for people who come in my life, being grateful for people who leave, being grateful for the present moment, ultimately, because that's really all that matters. So, yeah, that is my, those are my thoughts on that. Good night, kids.